Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about metabolic adaptation. Alright, so if I had a nickel for every time someone told me I have a damaged metabolism, I've screwed up my metabolism, blah 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 blah, this is why I can't lose weight, I would be rich. I'm here with an educational video to help you understand what metabolic adaptation really is. So if you enjoy this video, please be sure to take a second and give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell button so you never miss a video from me again. Additionally, please go ahead and follow me on Instagram. This is my handle over here, and also follow our Team Meraki handle on Instagram. It's just _Team Meraki. That is where we will be sharing a lot more information with you guys. So now without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright, so now let's say you have been trying to lose weight, okay? Weight loss is, I think, one of the most popular goals in the fitness industry. Now, if you are aware of the energy balance equation, you know the laws of thermodynamics, calories in, calories out, and you have started implementing it, and you have started seeing some progress in terms of weight loss. Now, a lot of people suffer from this issue wherein they see the weight dropping for a while and then they plateau, right? And this is where you start panicking, you start freaking out, and you're like, oh shit, what do I do next? And what you do is either you increase your physical activity or you drop your calories even further, or some people in the spur of the moment do both. Alright, and while that might work initially, you will find yourself at a plateau again. And I mean, think about it. How much longer are you going to keep dropping your calories to really stay in that deficit and lose weight? You can't be starving yourself forever, can you? So now keep in mind that our bodies aren't programmed to make us look our aesthetically best selves and continue dropping weight so you can achieve your physique goals because that's what you want to look like, okay? Now take yourself back to prehistoric times when we were cavemen. Back then, our bodies just needed to survive, right? So because of that, your body tries its best to maintain the position you're in right now. This is also known as your set weight or set point, okay? So every time you do something to change your set weight, your body reacts to it. And when you are in an energy deficit, when you're trying to lose weight, what your body does is it metabolically adapts by adaptive thermogenesis, increased mitochondrial efficiency, and hormonal alterations that favor decreased energy expenditure, increased hunger, and reduced satiety. Adaptive thermogenesis is basically the regulation of production of heat by your body in response to environmental conditions such as temperature or your diet, okay, in order to maintain your baseline weight. Now, in terms of mitochondrial efficiency, what I mean is your body just gets more efficient at surviving at lower levels of energy because it detects that you are in a deficit of energy, which is why it's going to become more efficient at whatever calories you are providing to it. Third is hormonal alterations. Now, this is something that people really hype up a lot, in the sense where they say, hey, I have a thyroid condition, so my T3 is messed up, and as we all know, a decrease in the circulating thyroid hormones just means a decrease in metabolic rate, okay? So they feel like, hey, I've got this condition and I am doomed, I'm never going to be able to lose weight. Now, that is not true. Apart from this, when you are dropping weight, ghrelin and leptin change, right? So now these are two hormones that I want you all to keep in mind. Ghrelin is your hunger hormone, so this is what makes you hungry. It decreases your satiety, it makes you feel like you need to keep eating. And leptin is the hormone that works directly opposite to ghrelin, and it tells your body to stop. Alright, so when you are trying to lose weight, your ghrelin goes up, which means your hunger goes up and your leptin decreases. And the way that this can affect your weight loss goals is it reduces your adherence to your hypocaloric diet. Now, a low energy intake and a minimal body fat percentage stimulates a homeostatic endocrine response aimed at conserving energy and promoting intake, which means, as I said, I'm going to reiterate, it means that if you've dropped your calories a bit, your body is going to get more efficient at functioning on the same amount of calories while making you hungrier so that you consume more food to give the body energy. And this is why sometimes losing weight can become a little bit difficult. So now, for those of you who already are aware of the energy balance equation, you know that there are 4 components of TDEE, which is total daily energy expenditure. So the 4 components are mainly your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. The second one would be your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Third would be physical activity, and fourth would be the thermic effect of eating or thermic effect of food. So I'm going to very quickly link my energy balance video over here so that the concepts are clear. Go ahead and watch that so that you get an idea of what I'm talking about. So as you drop weight, without you even realizing, your total daily energy expenditure drops. How? Number one, your BMR decreases, because as you lose weight, you're losing metabolically active tissue, which means your body does not need to expend as much energy to keep you alive, so your BMR drops. Okay. Second, your NEAT drops. So NEAT would include things like, you're walking around in your house, you are blinking, you are talking, you're just sort of moving, fidgeting. So without even realizing it, as you drop your calories, as you lose weight, your NEAT drops. So you won't be talking as much, blinking as much, moving as much, without you even realizing it. These are things that our body does on its own. And the next component, physical activity, is definitely one that you can control, right? So sometimes when people hit a plateau, they say, hey, I'm going to go that much harder at the gym. Now, sometimes what can happen is you might be performing the same workout that you were performing when you were eating at maintenance, and you feel like you're expending just as much energy, you're putting in that much of effort, but you're really not. So your body is not spending the same amount of calories performing that activity as it was before, only because it senses that you are in a deficit, you may be in a starvation sort of a mode. The fourth component is TEF. This one's pretty self-explanatory, because you drop your calories, which means you're consuming less food, which means you're burning less through digestion and absorption of that food. So overall, your TDEE keeps on decreasing. So for example, using the energy balance equation, you've created a deficit of say 200 to 300 calories for yourself, and you see some progress in terms of weight loss. Now, because your TDEE keeps on decreasing, this deficit that you've created just keeps on getting smaller and smaller and smaller until you plateau. When you plateau, this is where your deficit calories have actually become your maintenance calories. So if you're someone who started off at say 1600 calories and you've dropped that to 1400, now you've dropped it to 1200, and beyond this, please never ever drop your calories. Even 1200 is a very, very low intake, but you cannot be dropping it to 1000 to 800 to 600. It's just not sustainable, and you're just going to slow down your metabolic rate even further. So now that you all have understood how metabolic adaptation occurs in response to weight loss, let's talk about how you can counter it. So I recently did a post on this on my Instagram. I'm going to put it up over here, or you can obviously go check that out on my Instagram. I'm going to talk to you about 4 things that you can do. Number one is, if you have been chronically dieting, if you've been in a deficit, if you've been eating a significantly low amount of calories over months, years even, take a diet break. You've got to take a break. Now, the second thing that you need to do is, if you have been doing an extremely large amount of cardio, because this is something that I notice so much in India, where people go to the gym, and if someone needs to lose weight, I've seen trainers put them on 60 minutes of cardio every day, and that's it, that's their workout. So if you have been doing a lot of cardio, plus you've been eating so little, that's bad news, because that could indicate that you have lost some muscle. So as you lose muscle, obviously your metabolism decreases, because keep in mind that muscle is an expensive tissue for your body, and just having more muscle means your body is burning more energy to maintain that muscle. So cut your cardio in half is what I would recommend, and slowly dial it down entirely. You need to give your body a break. Now, at the same time, step number 3 would be to start resistance training. Now, there is no doubt that there are so many different types of training patterns out there, and you have to find something that will stick, that you enjoy, right? Now, a lot of people enjoy running, jogging, and other forms of cardio like dancing, Zumba, etc. Now, while these are great for your cardiovascular health, I would recommend you start resistance training. And this again boils down to the fact that the more muscle you have, the more energy you're burning at rest. Resistance training can be done using dumbbells, the barbell, kettlebells, or other equipment such as resistance bands, and even body weight training. You'll be surprised at how challenging body weight training can really get. So start incorporating resistance training at least 2 or 3 times a week. Now, when you're trying to put on some muscle, there is no doubt that you will need to be eating in a surplus, right? So yes, this means increasing your calories, and at this point I would recommend you go on a reverse diet. So a reverse diet generally needs to be monitored very closely, so I would recommend that you meticulously track all your meals, increase your energy intake by 50 to 100 calories every week while resistance training and while watching your biometrics. So mainly that would be your muscle mass, your body fat percentage, and your body weight. Now keep in mind that in terms of a reverse diet, since you are increasing calories, you may gain weight, you may maintain the weight that you're at, or some people even lose weight. So in a reverse diet, as you pack on some muscle, as your energy intake increases, your body again starts adapting to the higher amount of calories. So this raises your BMR, raises your metabolic rate, which is a great thing. So what you can do is for the next few months, slowly reverse diet up to a point where you're eating a good amount of calories and you're maintaining that weight, or say you've gained a couple of kilos, that's completely fine. Let's say you've been able to bring up your calories from 1400 to 2000 over the next 4 to 6 months, and you've gained maybe a kilo or two, maybe you've gained 1 to 2% of body fat, gained some muscle as well. At this point, I would recommend you maintain that a little while longer, and once you're comfortable to get back into a dieting phase, this is where you won't have to come all the way down to say 1400 again. You might be able to lose some weight at 1800 calories. So at this point, you will be eating more, but you will also be able to drop some fat. So hopefully this video gave you all a lot of insights into what metabolic adaptation is, and now going forward you will never ever say that I have a damaged metabolism or that I've screwed up my metabolism. It really isn't that way. Your body's just in fact getting more efficient at surviving at the calories that you're giving it. Always remember that as you drop weight, your efforts will be counteracted by a number of metabolic adaptations. But now you know exactly what you need to do. If you find yourself stuck at a position where you're eating very little, you're working so hard at the gym or doing so much cardio and you still aren't losing weight, get yourself out of that misery, guys. Start resistance training, start reverse dieting. You will realize you are so much happier when you're eating so much more food. So hopefully this video helped you guys. If it did, please be sure to take a second, give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button, and leave me a comment describing your experience with weight loss, with plateaus. What are the challenges that you faced? And I would love to interact with y'all on this. Alright, so that's it for now, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next educational video. Bye!